Going on a fishing trip with my son Skip, little ponding by the water on the bankside. Going on a fishing trip with my son Skip, I just hooked a big one, it's gonna be a fish fry. Going on a fishing trip with my son Skip, hanging with my boy as I'm pulling in my crankbait. Going on a fishing trip with my son Skip,
Laughing at my dad because he just caught a garden rake.
going on a fishing trip with my son Skip. Going on a fishing trip with my son Skip. Going on a fishing trip with my son Skip. Going on a fishing trip with my son Skip.
Whew, it's hot out here today, Daddy.
Yes, it is. Son, you need to wear some sunscreen to protect your skin. You're gonna start burning.
Oh, Dad, no. I don't need no sunscreen. It just feels like nasty lotion all over my body.
Son, you need to protect your skin. Put that sunscreen on.
Dad, I don't need to be protected. Sunscreen is for babies.
Son, you don't need to be so big-headed. Now, everybody needs protection, especially God's protection.
God? What about God's protection?
Well, God will protect you from harm in life, but He also wants you to use your brain and use things like sunscreen to protect yourself.
What do we need God's protection for in life, Daddy?
Well, everything, son. He can protect you from anything in life that He desires, but you just have to seek Him and trust Him.
How does He protect me, Dad?
Well, He protects you in the little things and the big things. In fact, there's a story in the Bible where He really protects one of His followers out of a big bind.
Really? How?
Well, in Daniel, the Bible tells a story about a boy named Daniel that God really protects. You see, Daniel was a wise and hard worker, and he'd been rewarded for doing such a good job by the king. He was set in charge of all the king's governors.
Wow, that's a pretty high up job. Why would someone like that need protection?
Well, because some people were jealous of Daniel, because he was one of the king's favorite workers.
Yikes, I don't see this going well for Daniel.
Right. So they decided to make a plan to get Daniel in a lot of trouble. You see, Daniel was a loyal worshiper of our God, and some of the men who didn't like him went to the king and told him that there should be a new law stating that people could only worship him as king for 30 straight days. And if they didn't, they'd be thrown into a den of lions.
What? A den of lions? That's pretty harsh. There's no way the king went along with that. That's crazy.
Well, son, he did. The king signed the law in, and from that moment on, the people could only worship him. This really caused a problem with Daniel, because he was only going to worship the one true God.
Yeah, so what's he gonna do?
Well, Daniel didn't obey the king. He went to his room, knelt by his window, and prayed to God like he always did. The governor saw what Daniel did and knew all along that is what he would do. So their plan worked, and they went straight to the king to tattle on Daniel in hopes of getting him in trouble.
Oh no, not the lion's den. And here I am complaining about some sunscreen? I'd certainly prefer annoying lotion to a den full of wild lions.
You're not kidding, son. So the king had to do what he said he would do. He ordered for Daniel to be thrown into a den of lions, even though he really did like Daniel and didn't want to harm him.
What? How in the world does God protect Daniel from lions? I mean, they're like the king of the jungle.
Yeah, but God is the king of the entire world. So Daniel sits in the den with the lions, and by the next day, the king goes to look in the den, thinking for sure that Daniel was a goner. But Daniel was just sitting in there and said that God had sent an angel to protect him, and he kept the lions from eating him.
No way.
Yep, and not only that, the king realized that in that moment that our God is the one true God of the universe, and he made a new law saying that everyone in the kingdom should worship and honor the God of Daniel, because his power and kingdom would last forever. So this way, many people came to know God.
Wow. Well, that's pretty impressive. I guess if God can protect Daniel from lions, he can protect me from the little things that come my way.
Yes, he can, but he also wants us to make smart choices for ourselves to help us protect ourselves too, which is why you need to wear this sunscreen.
All right. I guess if Daniel can face a den of lions, I can deal with this sunscreen. It sure is nice knowing I've got the King of the Universe fighting for me.
You sure do, son. The Bible says in Psalms 121:7, the Lord will keep you from every kind of harm. He will watch over your life.
That's quite a mighty sunscreen.